Okay, we're gonna remove the seal. Just gotta sometimes a good old big old screwdriver can do this because I can't hold it down. Well, in a perfect world, this works. I'm gonna have to put it in the vise. Careful not to lose anything here. Ooh, this is scary. Plant you right there. Perfect. Alright, we'll put it in the vise. Really don't want to clamp down too hard on it. Alright, let's see. Okay. That extra hand. Now, inside here is essentially it's a bearing that the shaft rides on. I don't know if I want to punch this one out or leave it in. It comes with the kit. I think I just might do it. Just change everything. You know, I stopped halfway there. So, I do believe the gentleman that spoke of this and driving it out, he said he used, I think it was a 5/8 socket. Fits perfect. We're going to test this theory. We're going to test this theory. Okay, 5/8 socket. It is being driven down. A little tight. I don't want to jam that in there and score it. Let's see if we can get something a little that fits just a little better. I'm not too comfortable with the way that's fitting. Just slow going. Just don't want to. I don't want to damage anything here. This is really crucial. Really crucial. By me jamming this stupid thing in here, that would make for a lot of suck. It's coming out. It's just really nervous. This is a really crucial part here. See if we'll still be able to spin. Yeah, the socket's spinning. So it's just following it down. 5/8 socket. And it popped out. And there it is. And we're going to drive the new one back in. Okay, in my fervor to get this done, I kind of messed up. So now I gotta pay the piper for it. It's gonna be a little bit trickier for me to do, but I'll get it done. And now I gotta push this bearing sleeve down through the backside of the pump. So I have my handy dandy bearing driver, and we're gonna line it up. I got moly grease on the backside of this. I got moly grease on the shaft itself, on the shaft housing. So I'm just going to try to square it off and gently tap it down into place. I can still see where it has to stop just before the main seal on the front side of the snout, and we're just going to have to go slow. So yeah, it was a boner. Usually you probably, like the guy did it, he did it from the front side. Now I got to do it from the back side, and so we're just going to go slow. It's going down. It's going down nice and square. Yep, I'm going down. Tighten this up a bit. Hopefully I won't mar the edge of this too much. He also took a file to his and kind of chamfered it both ends where the shaft goes through. Essentially, I'm just trying to use the weight of the hammer to put it down, bring it back when it's down and flush, so we don't have to, guys have to endure all this banging. Okay, no foul, no harm, just a little bit more work. It's flush. There's a kind of like an edge here, and it's flush there, and it's kind of flush to the back. It's not stepped up. Oh, sorry. It's not stepped up, but there is a little curl on it now, so I'm gonna have to grab a finger file, and I gotta file that out, but I want to wipe it down and get all the grease off of it so I don't have shaving sticking. So we're going to file that with a finger file, and then we're going to start reassembling the backside of the pump. Alright, bring you back in a bit. Okay, I essentially cleaned out the bearing, the little burr. For me hammering it down, it kind of rolled the edge a little bit. I'm running my finger kind of along the edge here. I'm not sure, maybe you guys, the old time mechanics will know, but essentially I went in with this finger file and I kind of put a chamfering on just the outside edge of this bearing. And I do believe, I don't know if I'm right by saying this, maybe you guys can clarify this, but I know an old neighbor of mine was really mechanical, and he called that spooning out the bearing. Does that sound correct to anybody? I don't know, but he actually did a motor for me when I was a kid. He helped me build a motor, and I kind of messed up one of the cam bearings, and he went in and he, with a finger file and a pocket knife, he kind of put another chamfer on the edge of the bearing, and he called that spooning it out. And I put it in the car, and I beat the living shit out of that car, and that motor never had a problem. I never had low oil pressure. It was a nice strong running motor. So, and he called it spooning out the bearing. So does that sound right? I don't know, but that's what I did. So okay, the next step is, now I got two O-rings here inside this housing. There's one here. Where are you? This is tough doing this upside down. One here and there's one here. I gotta pull them out and I gotta reinstall them. I gotta make sure this is all nice and clean. So I've been blowing out all the dust and all the crap as I've been going and keeping it clean. So we're gonna pull these seals out and we're gonna install the new ones. I'm gonna try to take this bag that the new seals came in, put the old ones in so I don't confuse them. So back in a bit again. Alright, I'm gonna put the next O-ring in. You can use grease or Vaseline, but it seems to be going in pretty smooth. I made sure that the ridge that it sits in is nice and clean. You got to make sure that's really clean, and make sure you're going into the right groove. So we're going to install the second one, and I'll bring you back. We got a camera fixed, thank God. And Zig had mentioned, and I'm starting to see about the round pot being up, and make sure they go back in the same configuration. And I'm starting to see a trend here with this, and he's right. So this one right here is backwards. This has to get flipped around because there's a chamfer on the ends of this block here. You see the I don't know if you can see that chamfer. See the chamfer? And these paddles have a chamfer also, so you got to make sure those go in right. So good call, Zeg. And because I was gonna just put it back the way it was, because that guy said, yeah, you can just put them back in any order. Just make sure that the round pot is out. Yeah, see, I'm following that chamfer. So I got to go through these now and make sure that they're all got the chamfer and they're all pointing in the right direction. So food for thought. Food for thought. There we go. See, now they're all kind of doing their little rain dance here. Chamfer up. Okay. Shaft's back in now. So what goes next is its housing. This is going to be kind of tricky now because I have the shaft in. And I know this was on the bottom. There's a conjunction to this. You got to look at the wear marks, but I know this was on the bottom. When I pulled it out, we had all this snot on here. So that's going to go down. Okay. Gently. Okay. I pushed the shaft in on through. I greased up the shaft, and I'm trying to line up the holes here, like so. There's alignment holes on the bottom of this pump housing, and you got to align those up. Then you can set the pin, the dowel pin right here. There's a dowel pin that goes right in the hole, and there's the second pin. So I was talking about being neat. Make sure it's clean. Then that dowel pin has its little spot too. Okay, both pins are in their spot. I pressed them down and in. Okay, now the housing that keeps all those fins in check, that goes down. As you can see, there's two sets of holes. There's a bigger hole and a smaller hole. The smaller hole is for the dowels, and I'm thinking I might have to do this with a magnet and line it up and set them down on themselves like that. And it's alright, we got the fins back in there. Alright, so that's the second part of it. So what happens is, as you spin, those fins punch out, and then you have these holes. That's where your fluid goes in and out of. Oh boy. Alright, then it's essentially the top cap. Once again, you gotta line your holes, make sure you're right. I think I'm gonna use the magnet again, because that seemed to work pretty good. Okay, there we are. Okay. Alright, so that's all together. Now is the fun part, the tricky part. And I will bring you back in a second. Nab it. Alright. I got the spring compressed. I got a big C-clamp. I'm being gentle on the snout here and gentle on the spring. It's just so I can get this retaining clip in, which I don't think is going to be a fun time, but it might be okay, because I have two things going for me. God, patience, and people who are watching this. So I gotta behave, and it's in. See? Okay. So now that spring's in, this thing's all loaded. As you can see, it's working. The shaft is spinning nicely. We didn't lose any bits. We didn't have any crumblies and other fine things happening. So at this point, this is all done and sealed, complete. You sealed inside. Alright guys, I was going to do it one way and I ended up, thought I was going to be sneaky and try to get it done. And I did it wrong. No, I didn't do it wrong. I didn't attempt it. I was like, this is stupid. Why am I doing it this way? I was going to try to set the reservoir onto the pump without the alignment dowels. We'll call them alignment dowels. So essentially I got the reservoir. I got it all greased up here. Pretty. I'll throw a little bit more on here so that O-ring will want to slide nicely and not be a pain in the butt. What I was trying to do is I was trying to press it together, but apparently you need these alignment dowels. So when you get down to the pump housing, like so, see, you're all lined up now perfectly. Perfect. So I'll throw a flat washer, another flat washer. I mean, I didn't have to cut these rods this long, but I did anyways. We'll get them down. What I'm going to do is, by using these rods and the nuts, I'm going to draw the pump into the reservoir, and hopefully that will draw it in and make a wonderful seal. So we are lined up pretty damn good, let me tell you. I'm digging it. I am digging it. I'm not digging it. This thing's not starting. You know, I got grease all over it. It will start, but it wants to be a pain in the butt. And there we go. Okay, now in theory, I tighten this up, it should draw that pump in. Maybe we can get a close-up on it. We'll leave that right there. Keep your eye on this lip. Everybody, let's watch the magic happen. And there it goes. Now I gotta do the other one, because I don't want this cocking inside. And we're gonna switch over to the top again. And that seemed to bottom out. And that seems to bottom out. And I'm probably going to put this thing in and have nothing but leaks. Alright. Gentlemen, try to start your engines. I'm going to put you down right here. say that it's a fix. I'm gonna say it's a fix. So, Saginaw pump, if anybody's wondering, that's the kit, O'Reilly's. And it does the two styles of pumps, which is the old style that I have and the newer style. I need to bleed the system and get some more power steering fluid. It's kind of late tonight. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I'm looking. Ooh, that sounds nice. No, you got a different cough every week. Pull it over. Pull it over. God damn it. Joe, you remember Joe? Mustang Joe? So you had to show me the candy green and black car. I like it. Holy shit. Whose is this now?
Same guy. The new one, he just got this one.
What you doing to this one?
I just put a tilt column in it. Had an issue with charging the battery.
Is that when you called me for a jump start?
Yeah.
I wasn't around, I got in late. I was just doing a video. I fixed my power steering pump. You wouldn't happen to have power steering fluid in there? Damn, man. I heard somebody chucking a rev and I'm like, I'm not gonna. What year is that?
66.
It's nice. So what are you gonna do to it now? Just the tailpipes?
Yeah.
Give it to me?
That, and it's gonna get a different steering wheel. We backordered the bloody the hub. It's not gonna be a Shelby steering wheel that I had at the shop.
And then you're gonna give it to me?
Yeah.
You're gonna give it to me? Peace, fellas.